Hello and welcome to Murat's Kitchen. It's great to have you here. I'm excited to show you what today's dish is all about. This series is called Foods of My Travels, and recently I went to Israel to visit family and to see the land. And so not only did we try foods that Israel had to offer, but because we had the opportunity to visit family, we also had an opportunity to try some of the foods that they cook in their homes, and they shared that with us. So today one of the dishes that I want to share with you is called the Korean carrot salad. One of my aunt's favorite salads. She makes it super delicious, and I want to share that private recipe with you. It's very simple. It's all about how you put the ingredients together is ultimately what the flavors are going to be like for you. So it consists of carrots, onion, cilantro, and then spices, paprika, a little bit of chili, salt and pepper, and a little bit of turmeric. And that's it. We're going to flavor that with olive oil and some white vinegar and put that together, let that sit for a little while, and then you have a delicious, very flavorful salad that is great on its own, as a side dish, or in a later episode, I'll show you how you can make a delicious open-faced sandwich to include the Korean carrot salad. Korean salad carrots usually are cut in very thin matchsticks, maybe even a little thinner than a matchstick itself. So we're going to go ahead and start by doing that. So the way I like to do that is, and it depends on the carrots, so this salad requires about 4 to 6 carrots. It depends on the size of the carrots, of course. There's a large, medium, and small. My carrots are a little bit thinner, as you can see. So I've got about 6 to 8 carrots in here right now. But if your carrots are a little larger, you can have, you can do 4 carrots, anywhere between 4 to 6 carrots. That should be enough to feed about 6 people. All right. So we're going to cut that in half. And the way that I cut carrots into matchsticks is you get a manageable size piece of carrot, cut a little flat surface, and this way, and you roll it onto the flat surface, and this way the carrot won't roll as you're trying to cut it. For safety reasons, that's the best way to be able to cut it. And then cut thin pieces, as thin as you can get them, without cutting a tip of your finger off, just like that. Okay, so you can see how thin that is. And then maybe take 2 pieces together at a time, manageable number to be able to cut a nice slices. And then you just cut. And then you get pieces about that big. And that's the kind of, that's the size that you would like for your carrot salad. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and cut all of that and get that ready for a salad. Right, I've cut up all the carrots now. You can see they're very thin, that matchstick cut that I was telling you about. It takes a little while, but if you have a food processing machine, they can cut them into this style. By all means, go ahead and use that. If you have a mandolin that you can use also, that'll speed up your work as well. I like to do the old-fashioned style, use my knife to cut everything, but like I said, if you have the equipment to speed things up for you, by all means, go ahead and do that. Now, we got 1 yellow onion. If you have a small medium or a small yellow onion, go ahead and use the whole thing. This one's quite large, so we're going to just use half. And we're going to cut that into cubes. I'm going to put that in our cup. Okay, now we're going to saute the onions in about a 1/4 cup olive oil. And then we're just gonna saute that for about a minute or two, just until the onions are translucent. Afterwards, we're gonna turn off the heat and add our chopped garlic to that and let the flavors infuse. Let me show you. Okay, we're now heating up our pan. We're gonna add a 1/4 cup of olive oil. We're gonna let that heat up. And the olive oil mixed with the vinegar is going to make our dressing. Okay. Gonna let that heat up slightly on medium heat. You don't want the oil to be too hot, otherwise you're going to burn the onions and the garlic. And what you want to do is just saute the onions slightly without color. Very carefully, you can also put your hand close to the oil, and if you feel some heat coming from it, then it's probably ready for your onions to be added. Now we're gonna add our onions. This is 1/2 cup of a large onion that you saw me dice earlier. And you can hear that sizzle, so you know that your oil is just ready. And you want to turn the heat down to low after you've brought it up to a medium heat. Again, you want to saute the onions until they become translucent without adding any color to them. Otherwise, you start to caramelize them, and that's not the effect you want for this particular dish. And you just want to stir them gently, often, again, to make sure that they don't burn or there's no color that's added through the cooking process. Just until they're translucent. Okay, the onions are now ready. I've turned the heat off. You can see that the oil is still hot as it's cooling down. Now, while it's still hot like this, not hot enough to burn the onions, but hot enough to infuse the flavors, we're going to add our 3 cloves of garlic. And that will allow us to infuse the flavors of the garlic and the onions without burning them. Once that's completely cool, we're gonna add that to our carrots together with our vinegar and spices. Can't wait to show you the final product. It looks as good as it is delicious. Okay, now we're gonna put all the ingredients together and I'll show you what the final dish will look like. So we're gonna take our carrots, and you wanna use a non-reactive bowl, like a ceramic bowl, use a plastic bowl. As we're adding vinegar to it, vinegar tends to react. Even if it's a stainless steel bowl, I would prefer to use ceramic or plastic, something that's non-reactive with vinegar. So we're gonna add our, what we call matchstick cut carrots. We're gonna add our cooled onions and garlic mixture together with a 1/4 cup olive oil. And then we're simply going to add all our other ingredients. We have our paprika, turmeric, and salt. And our vinegar. And about a tablespoon of sugar. And we're just gonna mix all of that deliciousness together. And the delicious flavors come from the onions and the garlic being infused with the olive oil. That, of course, brought out a more intense and more natural flavor. Gonna mix that together. And then we're gonna add a little bit of black pepper. Okay. We're gonna mix that together. And then we're gonna put that into the fridge and let that sit for about an hour so it completely cools and the flavors infuse nicely. And then at the end, we're going to top it off with some chopped cilantro. So I can show you the final plating. Here it is. So I've got some pre-washed cilantro leaves. And it's totally up to you what you like to do. Some people really don't like cilantro. It's got a very strong kind of a bouquet about it. Some people love cilantro like myself and try to incorporate it in as many dishes as I possibly can. But this particular dish does benefit from having a little bit of cilantro chopped. A little bit or a lot. It's totally up to you. Really, these things are optional and they can enhance the flavor unless you don't like it. And then, well, you know, they can take it away for you personally. But here it is. Just putting a little bit of cilantro like this on top. And that can be mixed in afterwards for presentation. This looks just fantastic. And of course, then you got cilantro all over your fingers. And voila, here you go. This is the Korean salad with garlic and onions, vinegar and olive oil, a few spices, and that's it. I find that the best dishes are with the simplest amount of ingredients and minimum amount of ingredients. The great flavors and the final dish, it comes together based on a few easy cooking techniques, and really that's all there is. It's all about how you work those ingredients together to give you that final flavor, final presentation that your family will love, your friends will be in awe of, and it'll quickly become one of your favorites for you and your family. Thank you again for joining me, Murat's Kitchen. I love it when you join me and I can share with you some of the dishes that I've learned through my travels, through my own family traditions, and ones that my family and friends love. And now you get to try it and enjoy it with yours, family and friends. Thank you. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't miss any of the weekly episodes that are coming up. There's lots of wonderful little short videos that you can enjoy throughout the week, and I welcome all your comments so I can continue to make these wonderful cooking program for you and incorporate some of your suggestions and comments to continue to make it a benefit for you. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.